Hey guys, I am Jay and this is Football Talk. In this one, I will be reacting to 10 biggest chokers in the NFL right now. Dang, that's one hell of a title. The 10 biggest chokers? Let's see. Well, on your y'all can't see, but the first thing they're showing is the Chargers and the Jaguars. That epic comeback from the Chargers. I think it was like one of the largest deficits in NFL playoff history. Or it was something like that. Yeah. Damn. Whew. Cannot wait to hop into this. Without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Go for the win.
No NFL team wants to be labeled as a choker, but it's inevitable when you continue to unravel.
Oh, definitely Cowboys. They should be top. They top one.
Over the last few years, there have been no shortage of notable NFL stars or powerhouse teams that have continuously underperformed in big game moments.
Oh, these are just individuals.
The 10 biggest chokers in the NFL right now. Buffalo Bills. The Bills lost 3 Super Bowls in a row over the 1990 to 93 seasons. Call those guys chokers all you want, but at least they went to the big game 4 years in a row. The current era of the Buffalo Bills, however, can't even get anywhere close to the Super Bowl despite a top 5 QB in Josh Allen, a top 5 wide receiver in Stephon Diggs, and
this one right here, this one hurts. So they're doing teams. Okay, I understand it now. I have to agree with them putting the Bills. I mean, they got all they got all the weapons in the world. It's just them damn Kansas City Chiefs. That's been the thorn in their side. I mean, it's been a thorn in a lot of people's side over the past couple of years. Yeah, I could say they're overachieving. I mean,
the top 10 head coach is Sean McDermott. When the Bills lost to Patrick Mahomes' Kansas City Chiefs in the 2020 AFC Championship game, it was still viewed as a major step forward for this franchise. Diggs even stayed on the field to watch the Chiefs celebrate so he could use it as motivation. And ever since that moment, the Bills have won an impressive 36 regular season games. And they still haven't gotten back to the AFC Championship game. Call it Mahomes magic all you want, but the 2021 divisional round tilt in Kansas City, aka the 13-second game, was an all-time choke job by the Bills. They entered the ensuing 2022 season as the favorites to win Super Bowl 57, only to get crushed at home by the Cincinnati Bengals in the divisional round.
This is an emotional year, if you guys know.
2023 divisional round tilt. This was Buffalo's moment to finally break through their kryptonite. Yet it culminated with Tyler Bass performing Wide Right Part 2. How Buffalo can field a top 6 scoring offense and defense 3 years in a row and not even get past the divisional round is just mind-boggling.
That's crazy.
With all that star power and an elite head coach, they still can't get it done when it matters most. Dak Prescott. Prescott isn't much different than the man that he replaced.
Overachievers.
Excellent individual stats, multiple Pro Bowl nods, always keeping his team in playoff contention, yet almost no playoff success to show for it. The Cowboys' humiliating 48-32 loss to the Green Bay Packers in the 2023 NFC wildcard round dropped Dak to 2-5 in the postseason for his career. 3 of those losses have come at home, and all 3 home defeats were with Dallas as a betting favorite.
Do you guys know this? The Packers have more home wins. Excuse me. The Packers have more playoff wins in Jerry World than Dak and the Dallas Cowboys do. How another team has more playoff wins in your stadium than you? How is this low on this list? Cowboys should be all the way. I shouldn't see the Cowboys till right here. Like, come on now. I mean, it should be top 10 times the Cowboys is choked.
His 2 playoff wins came against a mediocre 10-win Seattle Seahawks team in 2018 and against Tom Brady's 8-win Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2022. So, hardly inspiring. With only 14 touchdowns and 7 INTs in 7 career playoff games, Prescott is essentially this era's Romo. He's blessed with plenty of star power in Dallas, yet number 4 just doesn't rise to the occasion when his team needs it most.
Hey, I'll take Romo.
We could use the 2-word term classic Chargers and just call it a day. But we would be remiss if we didn't provide the jury with indisputable evidence about the Chargers being chokers. For starters, we can't forget when they blew a 27-0 lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC wildcard round. The most
Everybody should remember this one.
Won the turnover battle in that game 5-0 and still managed to lose. Like, come on.
What?
How is that possible?
How you win the turnover battle 5-0 and still?
Stood at 8-5 5 with 4 games to go, only to lose 3 of their final 4 to finish.
And
9-8
Eckler,
in
he's
the
out.
postseason. Remember when they needed a tie against the Raiders in Week 18 to qualify?
One of
And
my favorite running
Brandon
backs to
Staley
watch.
used a timeout that basically
I'm
convinced Vegas to go for the
so
win.
glad they
which,
got Staley
guess what?
out.
They capitalized on. Yeah, good times. Oh my gosh, just look at the all-world talents of Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Derwin James. 1 total playoff appearance, no postseason W's, and a whole lot of classic Chargers losses. They've actually been chokers every year since 2006. Even with new coaches and players, they still find incredible ways to blow games when it matters most.
That's a
the
talent.
Chargers, we tell you. Green Bay Packers defense. This may feel a bit random and like an awfully specific entry to some, but we're just being honest here, people. If the Packers defense didn't choke all the time, they would have won more than a single Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, we can put the fault on the Green Bay Packers defense. Aaron Rodgers has been a choke job. It should be Aaron Rodgers. His last one, he had the perfect situation. He wanted a home NFC championship game in Lambeau. He never had it before. He had it. What happened? He choked. Now you could say the defense, but hey, you was at, if I remember correctly, like the 5-yard line, 5 or 10, and you couldn't get in. Your own coach decided to kick a field goal instead of going for it on 4th down and giving you control. He said, no, I'm throwing in the towel. That's enough. So I get what he probably gonna say in this one, but Aaron Rodgers.
285 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns in the 2019 NFC Championship blowout loss to the San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean that running game was.
In the 2020 NFC title game against Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember the Scotty Miller Hail Mary at the end of the half? And Kevin King's careless pass interference penalty on Ty Johnson that sealed the game for Tampa? Or how about letting Jimmy freaking Garoppolo march down the field to set up Robbie Gould's game-winning field goal in the 2021 NFC Divisional Round to end Aaron Rodgers' latest MVP campaign in sour fashion? Or hey, how about the defense no showing for their must-win Week 18 2022 game against the Detroit Lions that cost Green Bay a playoff spot in A-Rod's final game with the organization? Oh, and also, remember when the 7-seeded Packers held the top-seeded 49ers to 7 points in the first half of their 2023 divisional round game? Only to implode by allowing 17 over the final quarter and a half in a gut-wrenching 24-21 loss? Hey, welcome to the Packers, Jordan Love. Rodgers can tell you all about what it's like to carry the team on your back into the postseason, only for the defense to let you down when it matters most.
Or for Aaron to choke.
Among the NFL's top 12 active passing yards leaders, only 2 have won a single postseason game. Andy Dalton, who hasn't been a full-time starter since 2019, and none other than Derek Carr. Carr is essentially a poor man's Dak Prescott. Steady regular season QB stats.
I actually take him more than that.
But when the pressure starts to mount, Carr crumbles like a cookie. Carr has only appeared in 1 playoff game, and that was a forgettable performance in the 2021 AFC wildcard round against the Cincinnati Bengals. Playing a D that allowed 22.1 points per game, Carr mustered just a single TD pass and threw a game-sealing pick to Jermaine Pratt near the goal line on the final drive. In 2023, Carr left the Las Vegas Raiders and signed with the New Orleans Saints. Despite a cakewalk of a schedule, and despite playing in football's worst division, Carr again failed to deliver for his star-studded team. Carr made headlines by constantly screaming at his teammates and refusing to take the blame when he was the one missing open receivers and throwing costly interceptions. New Orleans finished 9-8 and missed out on the postseason for the 3rd straight year. 6 of their 8 losses came by a single score, further evidence that Carr just couldn't deliver in the big moments when his team needed it most. Simply put, time is now running out for Carr to show he is not a choker. 10 NFL seasons, 0 playoff wins. The numbers don't lie. Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins have recorded 4 straight winning seasons since drafting Tua Tagovailoa 5th overall in 2020. Yes, he's done a wonderful job turning Miami back into a contender. But seriously, how do they have 0 playoff wins to show for it? Oh yeah, that's right. The whole choker thing. Facing the Buffalo Bills in a win-or-go-home game in Week 17 of 2020, the Dolphins imploded in an ugly 56-26 defeat. That loss dropped Miami to 10-6 as they missed out on the playoffs for a 4th straight year. After an ugly 1-7 start in 2021, the Dolphins rallied with 7 straight W's. Then they collapsed again with a miserable 34-3 loss to the Tennessee Titans in Week 17 that officially eliminated the Dolphins from the postseason. In 2022, Miami started out 8-3 under new head coach Mike McDaniels, only to lose 5 in a row. They only snuck into the postseason thanks to a 11-6 win over the hapless New York Jets in Week 18, before bowing out to Buffalo in the wildcard round. In 2023, the Dolphins started out 9-3 and looked poised to win their first division crown in 15 years. Then they lost 3 of their final 5, including the last 2 contests, to hand the division to the Buffalo Bills. That meant facing Patrick Mahomes' Kansas City Chiefs in the wildcard round. The Dolphins, who averaged 29.2 points per game,
it was negative fucking
season,
degrees out
scored
there.
7 and a 26-7 loss to the defending champs. So there you have it. The Dolphins are regular season darlings for about 75% of the year or so. Then they'll just unravel late in the season, then go one and done in the playoffs. Yep, the more that stays the same. Kyler Murray. For all the hate that Cliff Kingsbury got with his annual second-half collapse of the Arizona Cardinals, are people just forgetting that Kyler Murray wasn't exactly a saint either? I mean, come on, let the numbers on this graphic speak for themselves. It's the 2021 Cardinals that we especially can't forget about. A perfect 7-0 start that just went down the drain when Murray threw a red zone pick on Thursday night.
This was
football
one
against
hell
the
of a
Packers
game.
in Week 8. After a 10-2 start, the Redbirds lost 4 of their final 5 regular season games before getting crushed 34-11 by the Los Angeles Rams in the wild card round. In that game, Murray had
I don't even think I
137
watched
yards,
this game, to be
no
honest with you.
touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. His 2022 and 2023 seasons were essentially lost because of injuries, so I guess we can't fully fault Murray there. But it's not too early to ask yourself if he is lacking the it factor, because Arizona's annual tradition of playing their worst football in the second half of the season largely starts with Murray.
It's also that offensive line.
Ask themselves if they have the right guy. Kirk Cousins, 4 Pro Bowls, nearly 40,000 career passing yards,
Two-Chain
and
Kurt.
270
Two-Chain
passing
Cousins.
touchdowns,
Excuse me.
and only 1 playoff victory to show for it. Woof. Cousins' struggles in prime time and against teams with winning records has been well documented. He can pat
Needles, essential for sewing Bear, but maybe not for people with rheumatoid arthritis.
his stats against bad teams, but he rarely answers the bell when the competition gets tougher. Cousins' Vikings lost a must-win game to the Chicago Bears at home in Week 17 of the 2018 season to miss out on the postseason. A stunning wildcard round loss to the New York Giants in 2022 dropped Cousins to 1-3.
This definitely was a shocking result.
264.4 passing yards per game in the regular season for Minnesota from 2018 to 2023. In the playoffs, he averaged 229 yards per game. When you have elite stats and only one playoff win in almost a full decade as a starting QB,
It's that Aaron Rodgers
you're a choker.
effect.
And Cousins is running out of time to shed that label as he now enters his age 36 season. Lamar Jackson. Jackson is a pure
Yeah.
with a 59,
Unfortunately,
15-0 record
Lamar
through his
has
first
not
6
been
NFL seasons. When it comes
that
to
dude in the
however,
postseason.
well,
He did a lot
Jackson's
last year,
taken a
though,
pretty
but-
noticeable dip in production. The two-time MVP has a career regular season completion percentage of 64.5. He has 125 touchdown passes and an excellent 98.0 quarterback rating. Now take a dive into his 6 career playoff outings, and yeah, it paints a much uglier picture. The 2023 AFC Championship game loss to the Chiefs at home dropped Jackson to 2-4 in the postseason for his career. 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, a mediocre 57.4 completion percentage, and a woeful 75.7 QB rating. Jackson's sack percentage also goes from 7.4% in the regular season up to 11.8% in the playoffs. It's also uglier when we note that 3 of his 4 playoff losses have come at home. With the 2019 divisional round,
Yeah,
and the 2023
yep.
AFC title game defeats,
He's
all
definitely
mark a disappointing end to
underachieved
his
when it
MVP
matters the
seasons.
most.
And no, the Baltimore defense cannot take the blame here. In 2 of Jackson's 4 playoff defeats, the Ravens allowed exactly 17 points. There is no excuse for going from 28.4 points per game in the 2023 regular season to only 10 in the AFC title game loss to Kansas City. Right now, Jackson is in the tier of elite regular season QBs who just choke in the playoffs. It is entirely up to him to change that. Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan was the offensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons team that blew a 25-point lead to the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 51. Shanahan's reckless play calling.
Your boy first ever time crying over a game.
Shanahan coached the San Francisco 49ers
I loved it.
Super Bowl 54 and 58 appearances. His team held double-digit point leads over Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs in both those games. Somehow, the 49ers lost both of them. Not to mention that the 49ers also held a 10-point lead on the Rams in the 2021 NFC Championship game, only to allow 13 unanswered points in a 20-17 loss. So, Shanny has been on the sidelines for 3 Super Bowl losses in which his team led by double digits, plus 1 NFC title game collapse. We know he's not on the field and can't take control of the player's execution, or lack thereof, but he clearly chokes when the pressure mounts. The man can't figure out how to put games away. He gets in his own head and watches his team unravel at the worst possible times. That's on Shanahan more than his own players, especially when it's a running track.
I say it's split.
Who do you think is the biggest choker in the NFL right now? Is there anyone that
you looking at people with the star on their helmet? There's no question. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.